Hello, Algebra 1B students. I'm looking at the rate of change practice worksheet for Mr. Fry and want to look at this chart here and this graph, kind of makes sense of some things. For number one, which runner has the faster average speed for the first 9 seconds? So the first 9 seconds, I have runner A. The 120 is the distance that they made, and runner B 120. So, A and B, they both get to 120 in the first 9 seconds right here. You could see that it's going to be the same. It's going to be the same amount. Try to answer number two. Number three, which runner has the faster average speed from 20 to 31? So how I do that, I have it written out here. So runner A, I take, the difference in the y values. The y-axis is right here, guys. This is the y-axis. So these are going to be your y's. These are going to be your y's, and this is your x, right? So the time in seconds, your x. Okay. So let me go back to number three here. Okay. So the difference in the x values and the difference in the y values. So runner A, the y values would have been 287 minus 168. You can see that on the chart. The difference between 20 seconds to 31 seconds. And here's the seconds, 31 minus 20. I end up getting 119 over 11 or 10.81. And the runner B, I have the difference in their y values and x values, and I end up getting 6.72. So runner A had the fastest average speed in between the 9 to 20 seconds. Okay. That would be for your number three. I think you could see that on the chart too, between 9 and 20 seconds. So we have this would be your runner B, and this would be your runner A. I would say that one, runner A, even though the time is more, so that's going to be how far per second. So the distance per second, so 10.81 per second, as opposed to 6.72 per second. So in the graph, I would say I'm going to have to change that answer because it actually took them longer to cover that. That's the average speed. So it took them longer. So this one, B, is gotten farther in this amount of time as opposed to A. So yeah, let me switch that. We should have a B there. Runner B had the fastest average speed because it took them. This kind of is confusing because it kind of looks backwards. Okay. When you're looking at that. But when you look at the chart here, these are those points, and it makes a little bit more sense. In other words, B got there quicker, okay? It took them less time in order to get there. All right, so let's take a look at number five. And you could pause this if you needed to write all that, for runner A, your runner B, all your work. And run it, and then the decision there for number three. And number five, which runner wins the race, and how do you know? Well, and try four on your own. But number five, which runner wins the race? I'm just going to look at this. And you could tell A wins the race because A reaches the 400 meters in less than 40 seconds. B reached the 40 meters in 50 seconds. So A was more than 10 seconds faster, so for number four, you should have runner A. I started to work it out, no, that was four. I started to work out number four, but, there's your answer for number four. You should be getting the same for number four. And then A wins. Why A got to the 400 meter quicker. Okay? When you're looking at 6 through 11, pretty much you're just finding slope. So, I mean, you know, taking a look at these coordinates, you really don't need to even look at the coordinates. And let me tell you why. Let me look at number 7. Okay, so I'm going to go from this point to this point. Okay, so from here to here, what is my change in my y? Remember, change in y values over change in x values. So my change in y is a positive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's my change in y values from this point to this point. And my change in x is 1, 2, 3, a positive 3. So this is my answer. That is going to be the average rate of change for this graph. Let's try number 9. Now this one's going down. So it goes down in y values, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's going down 7. And then over 1, 2, 3. So down 7 over 3. That's my rate of change. And then number 11, my rate of change, it's going up 1, 2, 3 over 1. So it's going up 3 over 1, or in other words, 3. That's the rate of change. Moving on to the back, we don't have to do 12, 13, or 14. Number 15 we did in class, and if you weren't in class, what we did is we found the change in y and the change in x for the years between 2000 and 1900. 2000 corresponds with 275, the population in millions, and compared to 75 in 1900. I just find the difference between those two, and you get 200 divided by 100. 2 over 1 equals 2, so 2 million people per year is the average rate of change. And then the average rate of change from 2000 to 2010, 2010 corresponds with 315 on the graph over here. That's where I got these numbers. This is my y values, remember? These are my y's. I had to show that to somebody in class. And these across the bottom, these would be your x values down here. Okay? So I just take 315 minus 275 and I get 40, and 210 minus 2,000, I get 10, or 4. 40 divided by 10 is 4. So 4 million people per year. So it asks, is this greater or less than the rate of change in the population from 2000 to 2010? I thought it said just greater. Is it great? No, it is less than. So from 19 to 2000, that rate of change is different than this rate of change. Okay, it is. This is less than that. And then for number 16, which 10-year time periods have the highest and lowest? You just looked at the graph. If you look at the graph, you'll see the steepest climb is from 2000 to 2010. And on this graph up here, you'll see and that's 2000 to 2010. That goes the steepest. Notice it's more than. A lot of these just go, from this line to this line, pretty close. This one goes way above that line. That's the steepest. And the least steepest climb is from 1930 to 1940, so that's going to be the least, just reading the graph and the rates of change. And then number 17, we want to find the rate of change in Pete's height from 3 to 5 years. So 3 to 5, I'm going to use 37 and 45. And so 17, I have it written down right here. 45 minus 37 is 8. 5 minus 3, there's my y's, here's my x's. So I get 8 over 2, or 4, and that's 4 inches per year. So hopefully that helps, and good luck with the other ones on your own.